Wallo267 father and son. First show tandem. My dad and me. I'm dad.
And I'm me.
Right now, screw the Sixers and the NBA. I thought we was coming back to that. But no. We'll do that next Tuesday. We got special guests in the building, philanthropist, entrepreneur. Right now, he's the connector, man. He's the man right now you want to see all over IG doing positive things, man. Positive things. That's why I begged for him to come here to talk to everybody, including myself and my kids. Give it up for Wallo267.
Yo. What's up?
What's going on? Glad you made it.
Welcome. I had to come through and support.
I thank you, man.
Thank you. All right, our first question I got for you, Wallo. Who is Wallo267?
Wallo267 is layers. You know, a young kid that grew up in the ghettos of America that didn't know who I was. I had identity crisis like most kids do. Every day I walked outside of the house, you know, I seen things going on, and what was going on was the attention. I realized that attention was God in the community, the ghetto, and we strive. We do anything possible to get that attention, whether it's rob, steal, sell dope, whatever. And I just was one of them kids where as though the bad influences outnumbered the good influences that I had in my life. And when you're young and you're growing up and you want things, you're very impressionable. So I was impressionable, you know, I fell victim to the environment, and I wasn't strong enough. You know, you do have some kids that's strong enough to fight off the temptation, to fight off the lure of the street culture. I just wasn't one of them. So what happened is, you know, I wound up spending 5 years in the juvenile facility, and then I wound up spending 20 years in prison. While I was in prison, I woke up and realized, oh, I'm in prison for being somebody that I'm really not. Because, you know, when a lot of things happen, I was the one that always would question or think, why did this happen? Why did this person get shot? Why did we rob? There was always the question there. So once I was in jail, I realized this wasn't really me, and I was fronting the whole time, and I was living a lie. And I was in prison for being somebody that I wasn't. And you know, at that moment, I was able to embrace my individualism and start leading with my truth.
Where does your name Wallo267 come from?
Well, my real name is Wallace, right? But one of my old heads I was in the streets with, I used to be a part of this gang that's called Low Lives. So that's where Wallo came from. And always gave me the name. Now 267 came from my prison number. My prison number was DG2670. So that's why I carried that number with me so I could remember where I came from, you know what I mean, where I ain't going back to and where I'm going.
What made you become a motivational speaker?
Well, one day when I was in prison, there's a brother named Rob X. I was in the law library in prison. And he came to me, he was like, we starting this group called Real Street Talk. So I said, all right, he said, you know, come down to the gym anymore. I came down to the gym, and it was like, you know, he just wanted me to speak. It was only like about 6, 7 people, 8 people. Next week it was 20 something. Next week it was 50 something. And it just grew to where it was like hundreds of people at a time that we was talking to. And I just kept talking, and you know, and always was like, when you get out, you got to keep that going.
What's the good and bad of being a motivational speaker?
Me, I don't see no bad, because you're gonna help people. You can't help everybody, but I don't see nothing bad in pushing people. You know, we're not perfect in anything we do. You know, you got to be real mindful of your actions when you're speaking about certain things. You know what I mean? But I don't see no bad.
Do you consider yourself just a motivational speaker?
No, I really don't even title myself that, but I understand where you're coming from. I really, you know, because that term is dated. And sometimes in this world, you know, certain titles and terms can be dated and can put you in a certain box. And, you know, and you'll be connected to a certain time or certain other individuals that might not be up to date with generation now, the culture as it is now, and just things going on in life. So, you know, I see myself as a connector, as a disruptor, you know, because I came home and I disrupted social media in a positive way. I was able to, you know, just offset all the negativity that was going on coming down your timeline. You know, more power to anybody to do them however they do them, but I just wanted to bring something different to the table, you know, because I know we're being programmed by that social media.
Was there ever a time you wanted to quit, but what made you keep going?
No. I get up every day and go hard because it's like, you know, it's just bigger than me. You know, sometimes, you know, when I get a DM out of 1,000 DMs, and I read one DM and, you know, it might be somebody from London, it might be somebody from Canada, It might be somebody from Compton, and they'd be like, "You really helped me. I was going through something." That pushed me. That pushed me to keep just going harder. Just keep moving out and encouraging. You know what I mean? And utilizing my story to let people know you can get through, because I got through.
Earlier you said you went to jail. What exactly did you go to jail for?
I went to jail for 2 armed robberies and 2 firearm violations. But it wasn't just that, it was the build up of me just going to jail, home a juvenile when I was a teenager, all types of things, basically robberies and stuff like that, thefts.
So I read your About Me on your website, and I got confused by this quote. Can you tell us what this quote means? He wasn't in jail, he was in Yale. He wasn't in prison, he was in Princetown. He wasn't in the state pen, he was in Penn State.
What I'm saying is that I took my time to utilize it, to educate myself and be on, and just to upgrade who I am as a person and really, better myself and really find out who I was. So, I say I wasn't in jail, I was in Yale, I wasn't in prison, I was in Princeton. I wasn't in Penn State, I was in Penn State. So what I'm saying is basically that I took that time to utilize it as an educational journey to figure out who I am, to read a lot and just, figure things out, figure out where I wanted to go in life, stuff like that.
You have another quote that says, "No one can stop you but you." How did that get originated?
Because that's how I feel. I think a lot of people, sometimes in the black community, we always playing the blame game of why things ain't happening for us. Oh, this ain't happening because of the white man. Oh, this ain't happening because of this. Oh, this ain't happening where I live at. And it's like, no one can stop you but you. The only reason you stopped because you said, I ain't going to keep going after my dreams or after my goals or just after anything. Only person that can stop you is you. And that's what I believe.
All right, this is another question about me from your website. What was the phone call about when you realized the world is bigger than the streets?
It's like, the world is bigger than the streets. And I say that because it's like, a lot of times when you growing up in the ghetto, that's all you can see. And a lot of times you don't never get a chance to move. I know dudes that lived and died on the street corner. They never went nowhere. Some dudes never been to Jersey. They never been to Pittsburgh. They never been to Baltimore. They never been to Delaware. Some people never left the county. And they lived and they died in the street corner. Because the mindset I have you believing that this is the only thing that matters right here, because you're so trapped and you can't see outside of the walls. You can't see outside of the city limits because you wasn't, nobody educated you that the world was bigger than what's going on right here. You know what I mean? In your 10 block radius. So I always try to let people know, if you could change your mind, you can change your world. But you got to see, and you got to be willing and open enough and receptive to change, receptive to different things, and anything can happen.
Okay. How did the phrase "we control cool" come about?
We control cool is based off of understanding that we dictate cool. We created cool, and it's like when I say we control it, it's like we own it. So you gotta understand that we control cool is not just a point of music, it's not just a point of dance, it's a point of we as human beings control our own cool. Like whatever's cool to you, that's cool. You control that. Whatever's cool to me is cool. Like cool to you might be green. Cool to you might be orange and black. But cool to me might be red. It might be purple. So you gotta, like Prince understood, he owned his cool. Michael Jackson owned his cool. Jay-Z owned his cool. You gotta own your cool and understand that we control cool and you control your truth. And your truth is cool.
Have you ever had any speaking engagement outside of Philly? If so, where?
Atlanta, New York, D.C., Baltimore, California, Jersey. Bunch of I can.
Before each video, what prompts you to speak about that topic?
I might like I might just be driving in the car, and I might be having a conversation with somebody, and during that conversation, I may say one little thing, and now when I say that little thing, I might remember it, or I might text it to my other phone, just that little title, the title that you see in the caption, and then my mind will just be running off of that. So when it's time, once I set my camera up on my tripod, it just happens, bang, and I just go.
So you don't practice?
No. I ain't doing none of that. No, I already know the topic. I know what I'm gonna talk about, and it just comes from it just comes from me, from the inside.
All right, so this is my favorite quote. How did the quote "just like that" come about? Wait, can you say that for us one more time?
It's just like that.
One more time.
It's just like that.
All right, how did that quote come about?
You know what's crazy? I believe that one of the first videos I did, one of my first commercials, my homie, my MF in Love, our P&B Rock manager, he said in the video, straight like that, at the end of the video. He was like, yeah, and straight like that. And then I don't even remember the first video I said just like that. Because I was saying something and I basically like, that was to emphasize on what I said. It's just like, you know what I mean? And it just took off from there. But I know it was like 2 weeks after I got out of prison where we did that video when he said that.
What video of you that got the most response? What video flew you up?
I think the one when I was laying on the ground, don't wait until it's too late. And I had the ketchup on my head and I was just telling dudes like, don't wait until it's too late when you locked up or you shot and you laying on the ground and you waiting for the ambulance to come and you saying I'm a change. No, change now. Don't wait for that, you know?
When a fan comes up to you and asks to take a picture, do you get like emotional?
No, I don't get emotional. I just show them love, and I don't really see people like fans. I see them more as like supporters, because that word fanatic, that's a real crazy word to me personally. You know, I like the supporter thing.
Up to date, what would you say has been your biggest speaking engagement?
He ain't playing, is he? He
No,
prepared
he
for
good.
this test already.
He good.
He prepared for this test.
I think it's just like, I think one of my biggest ones to me personally is when I was in the youth study center, because it was like they needed an immersion. I was able to connect with them anytime I'm in like a juvenile detention center, because it's like a lot of times they never had nobody ever talk to them. They never really had nobody, especially a black man, tell them that they can make things happen and it ain't too late, you know. So I can say anytime I'm in a detention center somewhere with kids, you know, that's going through stuff.
I know a person of your status has thoughts on Colin Kaepernick protesting. Can you tell us what you think about it, if you have a response?
My whole thing is he got a right to do what he want to do. You can't, you know, if you support it, you support it. If you don't, you don't. But you can't knock him for, you know, exercise his constitutional rights. You can't knock him for that. You know, we always say, oh, constitutional rights, is that free land? All right, well, if it's free, let him do him. And whoever want to support it, they're going to support it. If you don't want to support it, cool. But you can't be angry at him because he, you know, he exercising his rights.
A week ago, the great Bill Cosby was sentenced to 3 years in prison. If you have one, what's your take on that?
I don't even got no take. This is, you know, me, I'm totally against abuse, sexually, physically against women. I don't know the situation. You know, I don't, like me, I done been in prison with people that was innocent. And just because they got found guilty didn't mean they done something. So I don't really know. I really don't know the details because I wasn't following up on it. So I really don't know.
Have you ever got any calls or emails about one of your videos touching or changing someone's life? What was your reaction to it?
You know, you get emotional because you just like, you know, you just doing it. You can never imagine that somebody in a different country that you never been to, you know what I mean, you don't know the language and they able to tell you your video helped them. So it's like, it's real deep.
Where are you trying to take the brand Wallo267?
Wallo267, you know, my whole goal at the end is to be able to build technology learning centers for kids in the inner cities of America. You know, teach them about, you know, how to create, you know, solar panels. Teach them about if you can play the game, you can make the game. It's about tech. My whole thing is about tech because that's where it's all at. Because everybody is connected to technology because they got their phone in their pocket. So it's about creating ways where the kids could bring value to technology that's in their pocket.
A few weeks ago, I partnered up with Anaya's Mission, a 12-year-old motivational speaker. What advice would you give to her about roadblocks and why she should keep going?
She just got to go every day. Keep being creative. Just keep going. She's young. She ain't got nothing but time ahead of her. She's going to get better every time she speak. You know, I don't know how if she write, if she do write as much as possible, or if she go off the top, just continue to practice and, you know, and don't be afraid to get in front of them crowds.
She looking. She want to meet you.
Oh, okay, we can make that happen.
I heard that you're Bruce Leroy Jr. How did it feel
He don't
to
even
finally...
know. Do he know who Bruce Leroy is?
I don't think he does.
How you find that out?
You see the last dragon?
No, he'll know who
Yeah,
Bruce
he googled
Leroy
that.
is.
Yes, he do.
Do you know who Showing Off is?
No, he be scared of
Kiss
shit.
my Converse?
He be scared of him.
Come
He
on
don't know
now.
nothing about no
You
dude.
don't know
Like,
shit.
whoa,
Kiss my
you know about
Converse.
Bruce? He seen Bruce Leroy? He's a legend.
Oh,
Bruce
man.
Leroy was a legend.
How did it feel to finally meet your father?
It was.
I ain't telling that now. I ain't do that.
I love it. It was great. It was
what's up.
great.
That's a good
You know,
question.
see, a lot of us. See, you probably don't know, but like a lot of us adults, that was our movie. That was everything. You know what I mean? That was our Bruce. You know who Bruce Lee is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was our Bruce Lee.
Right.
Leroy.
Bruce
You know,
Leroy.
that was us. So, you know, and he really know martial arts. So it was like, it was great though.
Can you tell us some things that you did growing up as a kid?
A lot of things that I did was basically like, they was, you know, I can remember playing football in the streets when that was the time, you know, because I remember playing my homie Atari. We didn't have too much going to the arcades when we could, but it wasn't that much. It wasn't that, but y'all, one thing I can say is I remember the human contact.
Mm.
You know what I mean? The human contact that we don't have today because the technology separated. Technology killed human contact. So it was like, you know, that was everything. We always had fun. And it was like we didn't have a lot, but we had a lot because we was real creative with the little that we did have.
So earlier you said you were in a gang. Do you still have contact with most of those people?
Oh yeah. I see some of them. You know, some of them living their regular life. Some of them good jobs. Some of them still in the streets. You know.
Did you try to like get them to like just stay out of that stuff? Or
You know, some people that, you know, as you get older, some people get stuck in their ways. So you just deal with people at where they at, and sometimes you can't. If you got love for people, sometimes you just gotta love them how they are. You know, and you know, 'cause it comes to a point where you're a certain age, and you get to a certain level of maturity where you know what you're supposed to be doing. So you know, you just gotta deal with them, you know, in that place.
can you tell to the kids that's listening, like why they should not be in the streets doing the wrong thing? They should stay in school, listening, go to college,
Because
and that stuff.
there's always education over incarceration, and smart supersede everything. You know, it's a lot of things that they might want in life, and you know, someone might be going through something right now, and if you're going through something right now, family, friend, whatever, you got to find somebody you can talk to, because if you find somebody you can talk to help you grow in so many ways. And you know, because if you don't, you might explode. If you're going through something, you might explode at the wrong time to the wrong people, and it might put you in a place you don't want to be. So what you got to do is you got to go get your education. That's number one. You got to be able to separate yourself from people, places, and things that's not contributing to, you know, you getting to where you're trying to get. And the same thing with you. You know what I mean? You got to deal with friends that is mutually beneficial. Y'all journeys align with each other. Y'all trying to go to the same place, because a lot of times kids get in trouble not because a lot of times their actions, but the actions of their friends, and just being in that close proximity of them. You just affiliated with it. You just as bad as that. You know, so it's like you got to try to figure out who your friends are. You got to try to, you know, seek as much as possible direction from your parents, and just tap into the whole community, because a lot of times we don't know how many people is for us and rooting for us, and how many coaches we have in life. Your coach is not just your sports coach. Your coach is also the community leaders. You know, the religious leaders, your parents, the teachers. You gotta make all them work. You gotta put them to work. When you're going through something up, you gotta put them to work. You know what I mean? Because you got a strong support team. You just gotta realize that help is your homie. The closest friend you ever have in this life is help. Having the ability to ask for help.
So during your videos, you're like really intense. Is there a reason why you're so intense?
I'm just always amped. Like right now, I'm recharging my battery. But I'm always amped up. That everybody know me know I've been hyped my whole life. I've always been hyperactive and all that. And like, you know what I mean? Just sitting down right now, that's like I'm charging, but it's like, you know what I mean? But it's just that energy and that fire that lives in me, you know?
Now I'm just want to find out some things about you that you don't usually talk about. What's your favorite color?
Red and black.
Is there a reason?
No, I don't know. I just like it.
Do you watch sports?
I think I'm one of them guys that I watch it when playoffs come. That's when I get hyped. Other than that, I used to. What was interesting, I got into baseball when I was in jail. I just started watching it, and I used to be like, oh, this ain't that bad. I was just watching it.
What's your favorite food?
I would
Salmon
probably have
steak.
No, that is everything. But I would have to say probably like vegetarian spaghetti. That's like everything.
Do you watch TV?
I watch YouTube. I watch YouTube and Netflix, but I think I watch more YouTube than anything. I think that's like everything.
That's how I am. Like,
everything is on YouTube. I don't need to watch it, you know.
That's how I am. I just use YouTube for everything.
YouTube is everything.
I don't even watch TV no more.
Yeah, YouTube, that's all you need.
What outside activities do you do, Austin?
I don't even know. Like, outside of watching YouTubes, and I don't really, I just be working every day, man, just going hard.
Do you like to travel?
Yeah, I'm always going. Like this week, I got to go to Baltimore, Atlanta, Pittsburgh. I'm always doing something.
All right, that wraps it up for our Q&A with Wallo267.
It's going down.
All right. Yeah,